Ever wondered how I started a run with 10 claws? Or even 10 Molten Fists and 2 hangs? I've had a lot of you asking how I made my custom starter decks, and this is done with the developer console. Today I'll show you how to enable it, and how to unlock it so you can use all the commands. And the good thing is, you don't need to use any mods. The developers put this in the game for their own testing purposes. I'll show you how to do this in less than 2 minutes, and then the rest of the minutes is just me showcasing it. First, make sure the game is fully closed, and then press Windows R, type in %appdata%. This takes you to your roaming file. Scroll down to Slay the Spire 2, go over to Steam, click your Steam ID, it's going to be different for everyone, and then you'll see settings.save. So the full path should look something like this. But before you touch anything, just make a copy of this and put it anywhere you like. Now, this is going to look like one of these white folders. You just want to right-click it and you want to open it with Notepad. And I just keep it to always use it, just in case I need to change anything else. Then you've got your first bulk of settings, but you want to look at the second bulk. This is what I added. This is normally not there. It looks like this normally. But you want to add full console true, just exactly how it is there. I'll pop it in the description just in case. You want to make sure this comma is right at the end. And then once you do that, you just want to save it. But there is one more thing. Once you've done saving this, I don't need to save this because I've already got mine set as it is. Sometimes Slay the Spire 2 might set your settings back to normal. So it might just completely get rid of what you did. This only happens sometimes. And it's because of how it links with the Steam cloud and how the game recognizes its original settings. If you want to stop that from happening, make sure in here you change all your settings how you normally have it in game. So for example, my FPS limit, my aspect ratio, which is right down here. Well, this is the window size. My VSync being off, I always want this off. Might be different for you, because every time I launch the game, it just forces it back on. And once you've done that, you want to go to right-click it and go on Properties, and make sure this is set to read only. The reason why I told you to change your other settings is if every time you launch Slay the Spire, it will launch with them settings. You can still change them in-game, but you have to do it every time otherwise. But I keep my read-only on because it doesn't work otherwise for some reason. For some people, it works completely fine. Once you're done that, just launch the game, and then that's it. There's no mods needed. Then what you want to do is press your tiled key, which is usually under your escape button. It looks like this, if you're wondering. And if your console did not load, it is probably because you didn't set it to read only. Don't ask me why it works for some people and it doesn't work for some people. I've just seen it on a few videos. But now if I could just go into a game, let's just go with the defect like I did yesterday. And then you're at this part. So this is where you could do a lot of different commands. I'll just showcase a bunch of random ones, but you can find out all the commands by just typing in help. You will know full console did not get enabled if all of these commands don't show up. So if not every one of these commands show up, it means it didn't work, and you might have to just go back and restart again. Firstly, what you can do though, before you do that, is if you're playing a modded version of the game, you normally have no Ascensions unlocked or anything. So you can just go on Unlock All, and then it will unlock absolutely everything on your save file. Yes, you can do this on base game and technically be a cheater, but that's down to you guys, I ain't bothered. And also another disclaimer, this does not work in multiplayer. I've tried it, and it makes your game crash if you try to add cards into your deck whilst you're playing with someone else, because their game doesn't recognize that you've done that, and they're gonna think, where's this card come from? So then it just boots you out. But there probably is a multiplayer mod for that. If there is, I'll also put that in the description. If not, then, oh well, we'll have to wait. Anyways, back on the game. The game does not explain how well to do these commands. Like, for example, I'm gonna recreate my 10 claws from yesterday, but we have to start by removing 10 of these. Well, all of these cards we need to remove. To do that, you want to do card, strike, and then if you press tab, it kind of shows more options. You want to do strike defect. What this command alone does is add a card into your hand, so this only works in combat, but if you type in deck at the end, it adds it to your deck. But what we want to do is we want to remove it. So if we put remove strike defect, whoops, my bad. It's remove card, and then we do strike underscore defect, and then we do deck, and then we just press up because it uses your last command, and then we kind of just want to press up again and do defend underscore defect and just get rid of all of them. And we do have a couple of unique cards to get rid of. We've got Zap to get rid of, and we got Dual Cast to get rid of. If anything has a space in its name, just put an underscore in it. Technically, I can get rid of Ascender's Bane as well, I'm pretty sure. So if I just do the same thing, but I type in Ascender's... never mind. What I've just recognized is when you press the apostrophe, it actually closes the console. Oh, wait, it actually opens the console as well. But yeah, you can do remove card, Ascender's Bane, and if you press tab on the end, look, it even shows you multiple options. That's kind of how I had to figure it out. out, and then you just do deck. So that's Ascender's Bane gone, even though we're on Ascension 10. And then we just do card, not card add. You only put an extra word for remove. You do card claw, and then you do deck. You just add a bunch of these, so you can just go a bit crazy with it. So there's your custom deck. You can start with any amount of cards that you want. This is how I did it yesterday. There's a couple of other cool commands that you can do. You can just literally type in Act 2, and it takes you straight to Act 2. You can do the same with Act 3. And then if you have the Act 4 mod, which takes you to the heart fight, it still works because the mod developer recognized that you could use dev console. You can even do the same with potions. You can kind of just go through a list of all of them here and just pick a random one and it gets added straight here. Relics are the same, so we could get Calling Bell and it adds it straight here. And some commands can bug out your interface a little bit, so you just need to go complete a fight to go kind of fix it sometimes. Right, I've entered a fight right now, so I can technically type in remove card claw. Can I remove claws from my deck whilst I'm in a fight? I can from my deck. I could do card Big Bang and just add like a bunch of them and then draw them all. I can add Grand Finale and use it. So, yep, you can do some goofy things like that. You can go in an event, and you can actually manipulate events. So, like, I could just choose a different one. It just takes me to this event instead. You can even add a block, and it has a cap. But yeah, you can just spam this and get a billion block just like that. And you can even do the same with stars. Just add a bunch of stars. But I'd only ever use this for, like, testing purposes or making goofy content. Please don't be one of those guys who cheats in solo. It does also have a God mode. So if I get this guy... Oh, so I didn't know God mode gives you all this though. You get 999 buffer plus strength and all that stuff. That is actually kind of funny. And you just heal for a shit ton. Yeah, so this guy's not gonna hurt. You can also just do win. And then it just takes you straight out. Sometimes this darkened screen can happen. It does bug out a little bit and it kind of fixes itself in the next fight or so. Oh, I think it's after I type in win again. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of fixed itself now. There is also something called instant mode. So if you just type in instant, it will enable it. And it makes things really, really fast. It's like fast mode on steroids. And it applies to everywhere you go. It's like super, super quick. I bet people would like that just as a normal setting. Like, look how instant everything is. And I can go to fight test subject boss. And there we go. It takes you straight to the boss. And if you want, you can just type in die. And then you just die on the floor. Yeah, that was some of the commands. But that's how you use dev console. That's how you get your starter deck kind of modified, like how I do it. Because I've had a lot of people asking in the comments. So I just thought, let me just push this out there real quick and just get this there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.